Jimmy Anderson has signed, as I say, a 1-year contract extension with Lancashire. He just can't keep away from the game, can he? He absolutely loves cricket. Are you excited to see him play this summer, or would you rather he have called it a day last year?
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be great for Lancashire. To have someone like him available. Probably not had that for a very long time, and it'll be good for the young seamers as well at Lancashire. But I don't think he should have. Personally, I think he's had an incredible career, achieved so much, and also he was heading towards coaching. He does a lot of broadcast stuff. I actually think it's going to be a bit of a distraction for England because he's going to go out there, he's going to get wickets, and it's just going to be the constant question, should you be looking to pick Jimmy Anderson? So, yeah, I think I would have preferred him to just get in the commentary box and do a bit of coaching. But, yeah, he's got other ideas, right?
Yeah, but you know what? You're a long time retired, aren't you? And he clearly just is in love with the game. Why not squeeze every last drop if you can still get the ball down there?
Look, I don't think there's any doubt about his ability or, his fitness. I mean, he could play another 2-3 years, probably, the way he was still bowling last year. I guess each to their own, and clearly he's someone that, is still striving to get out there on the pitch. I just feel like he'd done the coaching stuff. Obviously, he does his broadcasting things. I think he's going to be a distraction for England. I'm more thinking from that point of view than Jimmy Anderson's point of view, or even Lancashire. I think it's a positive for both of them, but I do think it will be a distraction for England, especially if there's a couple of injuries to the young seamers. Jofra's not available, and yeah, going into the India Test series, there will be calls for it because he'll get wickets.
Will he definitely, though? I mean, he hasn't played since the summer, since he retired. I know he's been bowling a lot in the nets, obviously, with England. Will he still be a gun in the county championship, do you think? He played one game last year, to be fair, against Notts, and he got an 8-wicket haul.
Well, you answered your question there, really. Yeah, absolutely. I don't have any doubts whatsoever. If he's... Look, I can't imagine him going half-hearted into signing this contract and, not being fully there. I think he's clearly been bowling, clearly been staying fit, and clearly feels like, I don't think he'll want to go out on, not doing well on the field in a county game. So I think the competitive juices are still clearly flowing, and I don't think anyone doubts the ability. So, yeah, I do think he will get plenty of wickets, actually. And maybe deep down, he still feels like he's going to play for England. Because I wouldn't write it. I wouldn't write it off because if he gets wickets and there's a couple of injuries, and England. What would you do, Matt? Like, would you go to someone who's never played, or Jimmy Anderson fit and getting wickets? You'd consider it, right? No,
not if I'd made the decision. Not if I was Rob Key and Ben Stokes. I wouldn't go anywhere near it. Once you've made the decision, you've got to stick to your guns. You can't go back.
Even if you've got injuries and no Jofra, and you've got to go to potential debutants or potential players with less than 5-6 games with a crunch India Test series.
They've been happy to do that so far. They've been picking guys who played no games practically.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously that's what they've been doing, and it's easier to do that against other teams. But when you come to let's be right, it's the India Test series and the Ashes is going to define the Bazball era. Those for and against are going to come up against it, and ultimately the results is what's going to decide whether it was the right thing or not quite the right thing. So. Yeah, I'd be really interested because I've got no doubts he's going to go out there and get wickets. It'll be interesting how it plays out. But more than anything, I think it'll be a distraction, which is why I don't think he should have done it.
Is there not part of you, though, that wants him to go out there and get 5-wicket hauls in every game? Because the last thing I actually want to see, which would be really sad, is a sort of Mike Tyson situation where you've got a 43-year-old Jimmy Anderson out there, and all of a sudden he's lost all of his powers. You know, he's lost all of his physical and skillful capabilities, and he's going out there and he's getting battered by, you know, average county batsmen. That's the
YouTuber.
last thing I want to see.
Yeah, by a YouTuber. Look, well, I don't think he. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be fine. I don't think he would have signed the contract if he didn't feel that he could still perform on the field. I actually do want him to. Now that he's decided to do this, I do want him to go out there and get wickets. I want him to, light up county cricket, which I think he will in them conditions. So again, I think it will put England in a very interesting position at some point next summer. I'm very hopeful that we're not going to see a Mike Tyson, a YouTuber situation. So but it'll be interesting. As I said, what are we in January talking about it as it's been announced? There's a lot to happen before the summer with the England team. And there will be calls for it early season. There's not a lot of talking points early season, so it's an easy talking point for the media as well.
I would like to see a YouTuber try and bat against Jimmy Anderson, to be fair. That put them in their place. Get Jake Paul out there with some pads on. The T20 thing I don't really get, because he's made himself available for T20 as well. He's never been a T20 bowler. I looked up his stats, actually, and he's actually played 44 games in T20 cricket, 42 wickets, economy rate 8.5, which in those days was actually pretty high because he was playing a while ago. He's not played since 2014. He's not played a T20 in 11 years. Why do you think he suddenly wants to play T20?
I think, look, there's a lot of tournaments around the world, right? So, if the future for him is still keep playing a little bit of cricket and then, do the broadcasting stuff, then T20 is the right avenue for it, really. And I guess, a few games for Lancashire puts him back in the frame for that. And there are a lot of tournaments that would have, that would be interested in having Jimmy Anderson as part of it. I think so. I guess that's the reason, and the fact that he's made himself available. I'm sure there's conversations that if he is performing and doing well, then he wants a shot at it just like everyone else. It'd be interesting because Lancashire have normally been a very successful T20 side, so it'd be interesting how what they do with that with the T20 side. But he clearly wants to play cricket for as long as possible in some capacity. I think even his interview, he said he knew he wanted to play. He just needed to work out where he wanted to play and in what capacity. And I guess this summer might help him do a lot more of the white ball stuff.